changing lives.
Pass the emotion ma o twedi amponto trobo so to nso bo awia sanse ye ne pene nadom enti na me no mienu ye da so etiase ene so na daroma mama kwan na katrema da bodwem mojedi mu afrisane na yetimi abetena hanom a na wo se yekoso ade ayi ema no ejidi se ba bia obi a wo ho ye na daroma ye nso ye ho ye pa mfa kwanya we na me ma akwa abasonkron Emra Hope TV Ghana na fe mi samo akwa aba Emra Hope Business Forum makajo se edu sabre na se wodi wafidie ne to baabi a na wo se wo mre ene wadaje sanse aha ena nimdi ahodo nyina ewo de beboa am watimi atumpon ewo wiase asetena wo mu da bia mekacho se de onyankopon hwehwa ne se ubediye ewo asase so na wabobra papa se de be ya da kyankwa ma onya kwanya kopiem wo soro ahema mu a yenyina yakodi da ensanda eno nti eduru bra ye besua de se ya eni agro na afenso so menye pese minkuminya bomoden a se obefra busuafo ne adofo aka nyina se braso se ye ba besua de e ho business forum dwumadie so enti obi a entwembe na fidie na ye nyina ye nsua de afei mu amwo online me chere Facebook ene YouTube mo so ye mama kwa abasonko pa nyankopon nhira mo pa sa brebia munya ye homre na afei mo se mu data edidi dwumadie no achi ene na daroma ya samba a ye ba bedi enkombo na mamenka o se yemfa sedasronko ema medimafo herbal clinic sanse na daroma na bribia okurekura yen a yetimi ede ho business forum dwumadie ebrewo medimafo herbal clinic se yare bia edokro wa ehawo no se onka honsangu obonko ade a bomodin se odeba be piem wo wonum asoye se nyame adaroma watimi abie bi ewo enkrane ne mpatamu enu nti asoye ne yemienu ewo Ghana ha eyemienu pe se oben kumasi a obekọ abu akwa agogo na fe wakọje wa yaresa wo ho sai obe enkran so a obeba pokuase mayira eho ena wonum ewo foforo kra obi ano enhyeda encheye pi dom ena ekọ hokọje won yaresa nti o se bra no famre nti o yare so na won so unya wa yaresa obetimi afre medimafo herbal clinic ewo 0244 774 282 0244 774-282 and now says 0500-727215 0500-727215 ko na onko sawo ya re sanse udimafo ene hwa midin ede nana kwa misika me na brebia ituna dwumadi eti na mjeje ho jeje ne tata ema no eye wode enne ye ba besua de na mamimbusa o se adwuma ben ena wo ye wa wo hwe misisi e wo ye adwuma ben ana wanka se wa bi adwuma wafa workers wo workers ana wo ye worker nkomo na ye bedi no se wo ye worker o se wo workers o ana wo ye adwuma wura o efa wo ho nkomo ne ye ba bedi no nti mepese wo betena na ye nyina ye sua de wa adwuma mu ho no hyehye ne tesen ye fa wa adwuma no kra ye ma appointment letter na se ye de bi ma wa wo kenkan ye hwe de wom Ghana fo aye de akenkan de ye pepai appointment letter no kenkan ye na wo hwe nhyehyɛ ahodo ewom na wadwuma na wo mu no kra no ho nsɛm ahodo nyina tesen wo hɔ a bonsi yesi yi obi adi na nso yem hyehye wa na ni nyina no ye ba behwɛ ne aka ho nsɛm anadwe eno nti mesrɛ wo sɛ enko ba bia twɛn me ye da me ho abasisi a
Doctor Chadibi, Amani Yari was to me.
Afei na twere ensem a ese moni duana ba mfa na haban ensa yale na abamu Dr. Tam da so ama oyalefo bia nya enida so se ne yale befire ne so wo ebra ode nani akyerem wo medimafo heba clinic oyalefo ba ho na ohye na ebra empa ho gise de wawuo ana wasie no nko na ontumi abubuafo enante anifrafo esna panie stroke diabetes pressure ne yale enkan ne nyina aye entatia case wasiesie na yale sabia ho kama doctor se fakakra bi beje wayalesa wo kumase abuakwa ago oyalefo bia kaise udimafo ye medimafo heba clinic. Dr. Time Daso.
Sauti ya Nkabwe.
Medasi papa se wanyamre ene adagye atwem ya ma yada ye ho aba se de medi kan no kan ye no ene mu afi na mo abetena afidie na chi no aha ye Hope TV Ghana Hope Business Forum dwumadie esu nkomo ena ye di no na ene asema eda pono a ye ba besua de free mu eye employee ena afi employer relationship ye kan employee a je obi a ono no wo fa obi adwuma ana se wabi adwuma no wafa adwumayefo ena afi adwumayefo no so ne employee for no na ye adwumayefo no ena employer no eni obi a ono no wabi adwuma no wafa adwumayefo enti ye ba behwe omumienu no adwumaye mu no omun hunkita hudie etisen na relationship no esitie the do's and the don'ts obi a so duty ene ne obi a ye entitled to eno ho nkomo ena ye ba abedi no anwumre na eye manage pa ye mahoho a de di kan se wankasa wo hwe me mani age ho pa afi nso esan ye mahoho a se nyankopon adom wode agugudamfo aba be come inside and many onum na eba be ye discussion yi na onso so se breba mu a onso de ode aba be ka ho ana se wode wasem bisa aba ya na ye se ladies first intino oba so no a wote me nchen no na medical ya introduce no na fe matoa so e de de oka ho no so aba minimpa se why crowd se opese ohu wo ma ne omba be boy na yesua ade no edi kan eye Mrs. Owusu Ansa Hega Mrs. Owusu Ansa Hega eye adwuma ewo Quality Life Assurance Company wono ene ye HR eye Human Resource Manager ewo hono nti ye kan HR na emse no na ye de twi name a eye common a obehu aha Mrs. ena wo hwe no afi nso so we obi a onimde sanse we chartered human resource practitioner ewo chartered institution of human resource management ewo enkran hanomo nti obi ka se sebomuchi chief nso ase be ka cho se denche mawu a ya na chinye bia enim so wo hwe ne background ba bi ofri ba kire enkomo a ye bedi no se de obetimi deliver e dia mayen ma me ma wakwa aba
yeah nua
yankopon sha say fro na waba
I mean sure also
very good afi enyo no kwa ne bae I also have a gentleman with us and then he goes by the name Mr. Abraham Bote Bokete. Please, if I don't get the name well, forgive me.
No problem, no
okay,
problem.
but I hope I got it correct.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Mr. Abraham Bote Bokete is also with us from Ghana Revenue Authority Rent Tax Supervisor. And more multi tax and Mujana, and Yamaji to into your best from men year for getting free her. One free I would take tax now, or what she was a chair. Me on why not just won't here. Now, as I can't tax in one sem. Name of say, patriotic citizen, do well to pay your tax. Anyway, and then you can't tax the home come or a chartered human resource practitioner, and Tina Chess or no so enemy. Say, your case will be a human resource. Made a minim share or mubetri moon, Tabia now one cassa which you my own now, Sedena, Aquaiki Kanki. A brand swan or memo who say a case will be a human resource and you may be anything. Mpacho Memoa Kwaba. I hope this one you can speak Chi.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me first apologize to my viewers. Ebedu baby no kasa ne beda ne kakra mo fan cheyen because enye da bia na yese obofoko remode na beba fi enye da obetu nso ebo nso atwa so fra na mpafi besi wo. Nti to da ensesa ye kakra betimi aba. Nti ye patch o se ebia edu baby ne da ne ana mode a cheyen. But said it bia na ye ogide se obeti ase. Nti mame nsama mu nyina makwa babiem.
that's
Okay. Starting from you, I want you to tell us something about yourself and the work you do.
Oh, okay. My name is Abraham Bote Bokete. I work with Ghana Revenue Authority. Ghana Revenue Authority has a lot of divisions and departments.
Yeah.
So I work with property tax unit as a rent supervisor.
Okay.
So we deal with rent, those who are in rent business, those who are supposed to pay rent. That's when you rent a property to somebody and the tenant pay the landlord a rent. The landlord is supposed to pay a rent tax from the amount he or she has received from the tenant. So that is what.
And do they pay?
Yeah, they are paying.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
They are doing well.
Some of them. Okay, we will find time to come and talk about that because I'm showing interest in it.
Sure,
yes,
sure.
We will call you again.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me come to Mrs. Owusu-Ansah. Let us know who you are.
Okay, thank you. Please, I'm Hagar Owusu-Ansah.
Yeah, or the Brofuna Sayo. Yeah, they went to me a country.
Actually, from Hagar Owusu-Ansah, many quality life assurance company and a Juma as a human resource manager, a quality life. Basically, a insurance company, and we deal with life. Insure life, investment, educational policies, micro insurance, and so dealing with Fabisi and then your mabi bray and unti Jumakuno, life insurance, and Juma. I'm a HR manager.
That's fine. That's very interesting. Inti ebema yon komono aye very smooth man because me share background na che say munim nia mo babeka. And straight away yen ko en komono so starting from Mr. Abraham. Today we want to look at the relationship between employee and employer. But before that, I want you to explain to our viewers when we say someone is a human resource manager. Who is that person? What does he do?
Oh, when we say somebody is a human resource person, the person manage resources.
I think you can up the voice.
The person manage resources, and our first resources are human beings. Human beings are first resources.
Yes.
We manage companies, how people are going to go about their work, daily activities. Human resource person or human resource personnel develop policies.
Okay.
We have policies that govern the organization. In fact, they are in charge of all administrative activities governing the organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is the basic duty of a human resource.
Sure.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. Inti de mebro me samra Ghana. Mami Hega.
Yeah.
Wa me hu adwuma ebia o kasa obetimi de abatwi kakra bi so that ebi mu so ebeti ase but o de o be break here no down no am ye hu ye kasa obi employee a oni hwan obi employer a oni hwan.
Okay. Ye kasa obi employee a obi a wa giatum ana say wa accept wa ready say obeye adwuma ewo company bi mu na ye tua neka at the end of the period. Sa employee no enwoma anase nkrata na e bind sa agreement no
Amano. Okay.
Nti ka so be employee a obi a wagye atom se opese oye adwuma ya fa no so onye adwuma e wo company bi mu na at the end of the period no ye tua neka.
Okay. All right. Enti mo makoye human resource manager si. And then I am more share and sana because it be a mubenya CV bebre or modex so. But eventually no mobile pick it be a 4 out of the number or 3 out of them. What makes the difference? Maybe mutimi fabi mujabi.
Okay, the attorney say a bit depending on position cry no. And any panel experience.
Okay.
Maybe our marketing marketing manager from a company. And more po bia wako nimdie mu no wako akoye marketing. Maybe a BSc in marketing. Na maybe so a wachata e marketing.
Okay.
And no mo behwe saa nneoma no ene nipa no ni previous work experience maybe a waye adwuma pen. Na reference checks ni na aka ho. Nti mo behwe ni na ene ne modern bo ene nneoma nipa na tumi aye wa adwuma ni mu a mujidi se mo fa saa nipa no a out of the lot no wonim se saa nipa we obeka mo team of group ewo mo adwuma mu a adwuma no betumi etumpon
Okay.
ama adwuma no etumi akoso.
Okay.
Nti saa nneɛma we mu nyinaa na yɛhwɛ na eboa emi etumi fa obi ewa adwuma mu.
Okay, so that means mo share the oye qualified.
Yes.
In terms of position crone da ho no.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mr. Abraham, sometimes she mentioned experience.
Yeah.
I just completed university. I have no working experience. When we talk of experience, is it just in the same field the person is applying for, or it could be any working experience?
It could be any working experience, because normally when you complete, for example, university, you go through what we call national service.
Okay.
So those who go to national service for 1 year, all is part of the experience we are talking about.
Okay.
All is part of experience we are talking about. And it doesn't matter you read agric or you read accounting. Because somebody can read accounting, but when you come to the field, you will not do specifically accounting. You will do so many things that is relating to accounting and other administrative activities. So all these things count as an experience. And by selecting, as she said, you state all those things in your CV. So that is part of how the employer can determine that, oh, this person, and as Ashimasi, why Juma Wahasi, why say, fiti, afiwe, bedu, afiwe.
Your tree is very nice, and you say you can speak tree. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. All right. Try never fry. I like it. Okay. Into Yahoo employer, Yahoo employee. Na Yahoo the moshe ansana mafa obi. Okay. Now as they say, ya fani panewie. What is next? Ibia in CV ni begu or no my shemu couple of meetings. Ma pick the qualified ones. No. What do you do next after you have made the selection?
So we call them for interview. The next thing will be an interview. And then during the interview, the applicant who is going to perform well is a qualified applicant. Because you can, for example, you can have 10 applicants. All of them have the same qualification. But in the process of interview, the way one applicant can answer his or her questions will determine his or her experience and how well he can handle the position you are trying to occupy.
Okay. Mrs. Hager, Oko institutions be more interview no. Ebia adwuma no me fancy a secretary to a company, but it me busa question emfa secretary adwuma ho. Why? Because obi share ya obeso ohun. Because some people see that to be unnecessary, but I think there is a reason. Adentia. Okay,
omo busa question bi emfa position kro no ho no. Ebo wa omo me busa o say in a scenario ebo won so omo busa say even what is the name of the president of Ghana? Foreign affairs. Ombetumi obusa foreign affairs questions. No matter say nebia we obi a apart from secretarial we na wo no. At least wo ho a wotie news ana say wonim wo man kra no mpanyufo no wonim omudin ana wonim omudi bi ana. Nti omo yasa to judge as part of recruitment, no.
Okay.
Na omotumi ehun say you are all round. And you say you are limited to only your field, but you explore to know other areas as well. Obo wa o secretary juma, but who could be san marketing hunoma. Obo so enokra na or excel well. Internet say more ye kra na if she is to be considered that to me ama wa assist that particular unit no because of the knowledge ne nim dia owo ewo that particular field enti ni na aka ho ne bomma interview selection bibia ewie peyo
okay because obi o ha o hwe ya na dwe be ni so me koni ebusa me say the okay minister for education na we hu kra is nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Nti yes hu hia so they should take it serious.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, kono nkakra nti say no ya interview na wie the nipa na qualified. But definitely I know you call them. Nti mo frɛ wo mo what's next? The qualified ones no. Any of you can answer.
Oh, okay. So when you qualify and you are being called, it depends. It varies from one organization to other.
Okay.
But some organizations, when you call you that you have qualified, they will ask you to go for a medical test. So upon the medical test, whether you pass or you don't pass, then they take it from there, because if you don't pass the medical test, it means you cannot work. But when you pass the medical test, then the employer will prepare what we call appointment letter. So the appointment letter will state all the contract items that goes into the contract.
Okay.
What you are supposed to do, what you are not supposed to do, what your employer will do, what your employer will not do, what you will get. So there are a lot of items. When there is a time, we can itemize them one after the other in the appointment letter.
Okay. So since we are learning, someone may ask, why medical test?
Medicals no. Nse aye edwumakuo na efa o. Enti emre mu no e was okoye medicals, because obo ho no ma na o situation bi na edwuma bia na wo de hye ne nsa obetumi aye. Eno nti wo ma ne ko sa medicals na results na ebeba no be me determine say o nipa asumesi ne bia oya ade ba ya fa no ye ni gye ne ho say wo say ye fa no. But ne bia baby a ye de ne ko hye no sa ne condition no emboa no.
Yeah.
Eno nti ne bia ye pese ye de ne hye ha eno no eboa ma management no e take decision about sa applicant na or why medical some results abano, and they can take a decision as to say omo be foul and also omo foul.
Okay. Say Ghana had the team medicals near to na etaba yetu via HIV and say hepatitis B nti obu a onya te medicals no cry ne ona cry nsi company no hobiem. So den na ya na omo check sa e wo nipadua no. What are some of the things that they go for medical checkups?
In fact, okwa omo be thorough examination on your body. Omo be try X-ray. Omo be your eye test. Omo be show mojem. No mo hu o blood group. Maybe obi ho hepatitis B. Obia ne issues and maybe be pop up in terms of medical examination. And ideally no your whole being no mo ye assess no more to me my full report about the applicants.
Wow.
So ne be boa edwumakuo na mo atake decision.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Nti in the appointment letter na hona asem no dodo na ewo no eya na den pa na kom employer no nko na etwro everything in the appointment letter na say oni employee no co-agreement and sana was sign.
Me can be answer.
Okay.
In addition to the medicals,
no, okay.
Obi wo ha oba yare bia nini hu.
Okay.
Medicals ni trace yare bia nini hu, but going forward no. About remember say a bia na 1-2 or say ko hospital 1-2 no say yare. So based on that, you bet to me at determine say a be a juma na or yenu and all man saya.
So all bow and fire
yamba.
Okay. Very important.
Yeah.
Okay. Nti ube answer the second one and in the appointment letter, what goes into it?
Okay. Appointment letter no near my common be ni say the employer no onu na ya adwuma.
Okay.
Your employer no
employer no they will be adwuma.
They will be adwuma no. ono ni din beba na wo a wo hwehwe adwuma no ase worker no nso wo din beba
okay
ombe position a ye hwehwe e wo adwuma no nso
ye di amawo no
okay nso beba na ebia se bi o se wo ye adwuma wo ba bia ansa wo ba ya sa ho no nso beba
previous work no
previous work no nso beba mu na ska ombe tua wo eno nso beba mu
okay
your friend say chino
o betimi aka no bro
from
Mrs. Gambo
ti nipa no ne job description adwuma obeye ankasa no aya na ya outline responsibilities no
okay
ye detailing one after the other na no so aba appointment letter nim and a reporting channel nipa obe reporting
okay
to
Ediamano
yes and the station it could be Greater Accra, it could be
anywhere
in Ghana depending on organization baby and ejumekuo no wabia no bia no nti eno nso beba so ansana ya indicate say appointment no can be terminated at any time by say employer no utua nipa no ana say worker ni jaya impofrim no jaya ono so betua employer no 1 month
that's compensation
yes ansana ansana yewo acceptance
say si ho ni biem say ono employee no ejaya e was so utua ska bi ma employer no
yes
abrekwa time no so
appointment no to me end at any time, it can be terminated at any time
at a cost. Okay.
And whereby oma 1 month notice employer and betria no.
Okay.
1 month notice no. And also jai before also the employer neka.
Okay.
Until just also tria. Sika
employer. You want to add something?
No, I want to add something.
Okay.
The payment issue. When you are working, every month you're paid. So when you are, terminating the appointment, the amount that employer is paying you is what you are going to pay back to the employer.
That's when you terminate the contract.
When you terminate, now, se u terminate appointment no, now uma
notice.
Your friend will say the employer no, uma no notice say from 1st November up to 30th November, minu area, and no dia hu hia say obetia sika.
Okay.
So you uma no sa notice now you work from November to December, from November 1st to 30th November. Now odie no atika no, the employer will
not pay you that month.
No, employer will pay you.
Oh, okay.
But
you will not pay back.
Yeah. Say woman notice. Into notice no say from 1st November to 30th November no. Ejuma no oni ewie.
Okay.
Into no ombetua o sa month na obeye ejuma for November no be no ombetua o sa amount no. But instead of paying money that anything na woman notice no. But ebi nso wo ha ubetumi terminate appointment no eneya uma notice bia now this 1 month sika no ama ejuma wura no
aha no na sem no wo no sesia no 1 month na moka no eno na ye emrai wo ho se wo se wo ma 1 month notice because ebi mu demand 3 months ebi mu demand 2 months
inchechemu wo ni se mra no si wo mra bia efre no labor law and as a labor act.
Yeah.
Mrano si se nipa na ye juma 3 years and as a more than 3 years ubema no notice 1 month.
Se o pese wo sakena ana ono pese o jaya.
Yeah. Se juma juma wura no pese wo sakino employer no pese wo sakino. You give the employee 1 month notice.
Okay.
In that instance, next say nipa na ye juma 3 years or more than 3 years. But say nipa na ye juma less than 3 years, the notice will be 2 weeks.
Just 2 weeks.
Just 2 weeks
to
terminate the
wow.
appointment. Nature say nipa no na juma oni na ye no and do 3 years. Ebi nso wo ha o ma notice kra.
Okay. Nti with this no initially Mrs. Sega mama ya hu say employee no. So ono no ma notice a on to eske bia. How about say be a human ya sign contract no 3 years. But my year 2 years in do 3 years no. Then all of a sudden ni abema me notice say 2 weeks time me ntimi ne onya adwuma. Employer no be sign to eska be as a conversation their my employee na say because I want 2 weeks notice ni ntino on to eska bia ma no.
2 weeks notice no ma no. You work up to that period,
time, no?
That period. So the employer will pay you.
Okay.
In addition to any entitlement you are due for. The employer will pay you all those entitlements.
Okay. Like I say enye no kre say wonu obi ya adwuma na o se ma yi wadi a eni kwan so otua compensation bi as 3 months salary bi adema.
No. This a bia ewo agreement, contract agreement ni mu. Say ewo agreement ni mu sadia. But law no mrano anka sa.
Okay.
Say untia 3 months compensation. But it varies from one organization to another. We have what we call conditions of service. Ebia o condition for service no mu. Ya tro wo mu say o pese o nja adwuma no o betia 3 months salary. Enu uhu ye ansa. So accept employment and I say appointment no.
Okay. Na eno no sa for a minimum say be ni ho, but for example to say the no be the share contract mu say me fa wadwuma no na mum say we wadwun say obegya abreko a me mpam wa obetua 3 months sika dia ama me baka enya hunehuna na wodi hunehuna nipa na o employ no
per the law ahunhuna.
Nti eno no na kan be say me hu say bia what does the law also say about that, because basa people are forced to do what they are not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because of sa penalty na omode ahye no. All right, nti still on the appointment letter no. Person me who say wo be sign because your family my by interview my medical check bibia na your family. I feel me buy no me before I may sign I have to read. Making kind and say condition of services bi wo mu a emboa me as employee ye be family as employee no, what do I do? Meaning say me question ni mu da ho a what do I do? Any of you can answer for me. Say bia me share appointment letter no mahu say niam bi wo mu a emwa me e bi kra reporting time ye da kwhye 6 am nti can I bargain? Person me mu say make me a bargain say bia on say to 8 am and say once a nipa no dey amount no, that is it. So at that point no you can still lose the job.
I'm sure say before ansana appointment letter na dey be ma no na interview room no say if it's a well structured interviewer na ya ma wo sa ne mani na
okay
ansana ye fa ebi wo ho no ma ye sanya bia ye de wo ko northern region enti interview room no sa ne ma we na no e wo say adwumakuo no ana team na omo recruit enkofo no omo tumi de sa ne ma we na atoto akwam say adwuma we aye fa no nye bia ahomache na obeba be report 5 am na wo adwuma mu ana say ye de wo ko wale obekwa ana
so wagya tum dada
from reaction no so oje tum dia ene wo de mana onya say oba back beka ho asem
okay
because oje tum say ye wo office wo wale ene say ye do ye enu nti ne ye recruitment no ye bia ye pe marketing personnel bi akoho amo akohede saa branch no ena oba ye ne ma ohunu saa nyoma na edida akwan mu a ebeba appointment letter ni mu no
doctor chadibi amanu nyari wasutu
no betumi akohu empenyifo no because onya aware
okay
and it has come as a surprise to him or her
okay
nti eba no saa na wo kwan so kohu penyimu no de letter no man no se nye bia nya letter no meka ye no me hu say reporting time no 5 am ana say 4 am na bibi betumi aye bibi wo ho ana eno nde all right so ko hu edwumakuo no nti bibi o ho bia no I'm sure say betumi attraction out
okay so Safena ebia wabetena wafidie na chi a Hope TV Ghana Hope Business Forum and then enkomo eda pono so ayetwetwe employee and employer relationship na ye fan kakra because ye pese ye tias ye free baby ansana ya boawura because nyuma hoduo mu no say ya ban nyuma na ankra nyuma no ene ma ya na ekoso no ebi wo ho no ma ya na asefim ebi wo ho nso ya na enyan ni nyina no ye behwe minim se wo questions bebre ho a wunya anka wo de beba nanso wo de nyabotre na twuru gu ho no ebre ne so ye be makwan na wonso wabem nti yetwa enkombo ne so Mr. Abraham, I saw say you wanted to say something.
Yeah, in addition to what she said, for the purposes of this discussion, we want to dwell on the law.
Okay.
Much. So what she said, I want to continue from there.
All right.
Now, per the law of contract, when the employer give you appointment, and for example, you go for the appointment and realize that the salary is supposed to be maybe 10,000, but you went for the appointment letter and we said, the salary is supposed to be 10,000, but they are giving you 9,000. So you ask the employer to, add 1,000 to the salary to make 10,000. We have something called counter offer per the law. You have counter what the employer offered. You have not accepted the offer. So from there, instantly, the employer can decide to give the appointment to different person. So when you did that, the appointment does not belong to you, or the position does not belong to you any longer. Because what the employer offer you, we have offer and acceptance. Okay. He offer you, you did not accept it. You did not make any consideration. So your counter offer you made become a new offer to the employer rather to accept.
Okay. Okay. It's getting interesting. So that means, and that is why most people are afraid to counter, as you said, because they might lose their job. Because Ghana, how are you home ramra unya jumanyo? Ajumani yenyam foul. Na obabe home ramra unya jumanye. And very serious. But I know there are so many people watching us wherever they are working. No, appointment letter cry more movie, but they have worked for about 4 years, 3 years, 5 years. Monka be interested for the mommy. No one who say it is their right to have it. And who he has so beji appointment letter be.
So, based on what you said, a contract of employment, we have types of contract of employment.
Okay.
For example, when you enter into a contract as a permanent worker, that contract needs to be in writing.
Okay.
As a document. So that contract spell out what you are going to, like the appointment letter we talk about. There are contracts that need not to be in writing. For example, say Edu Koko Trabrea, Koko Ura no bet me afresh
seasonal appointment.
Seasonal appointment. No, ma appointment letter.
Okay.
Ena ebi so wo ha e friend no temporary. Sa temporary ana contract staff no. Emra no kire say uye adwuma 1 month up to 6 months ana say e bru so 6 months Mra no hu say o adwuma no permanent adwuma. It's a permanent contract.
Every 6 months a
permanent. It should be treated as a permanent contract.
Okay.
So omo ye adwuma e bia wa ye adwuma 1 year kra ye man letter bia na say yen trophy man say ebia say ni and that kwan mu
nti e was so mutu ho anamo
e was so mutu ho anamo
na adwuma wurafo no na sometimes omo ye problem no obekwa akokan ye beka chew say CV bebre na gu ho no so it's like because people are afraid to lose their job no omo ye din but na are some people they don't give them any notice obeda sorry okoya ye say apamo sometimes they don't even give them any reason why they have terminated their contract. Is there anything according to the law? I know you are not a lawyer though, but since from your background you might have a knowledge on that. Bibi ohwa sa nipa no aye yama ni notice bia no obetimi aye because my ba adwuma me ba ya was mean me no onya adwuma bia just like that. And it's going on in this country.
Enunti na medical kan say adwuma ni ebi wo ho a o koye a it's a seasonal one there. I mean, you need not any document. And I say, you better be a farm. You better me a DN anu aka. But near ubeko interview process. You can say unko medicals na dia no die. You should not allow that one to go without a covering document.
Okay. So that covering document, and in case of any impromptu termination, biano, ubejina so they can wasem. All right. Yeah, who miss some right. Therefore, me give this money agent commona ye dino na usuan BBF film. Ye mu bebre ye wo nyuma hodo mu a appointment letter ya kan obi okro hu bi da. Nti no an say adwuma no ye ni biara. But appointment letter nim na be che say wo yare kra adwuma wura no o wa say de bi e wo say wo ye. Se wo ko baabi atoyenchen bi to wa ni nyina na wo se wo hwe san se won so bambo ho hia ani wo yie de won sam nyina ho hia nti yese bia wo pa adwuma nti no na wo de ho akwakoma adwuma bia sa keke mama ye me ni na honum na ye momodin se ye besua de na nu moma boa yen se de be ya ye gina baabi a ye be hu se de ye ka no ye right men ko baabi a ye dan ye ho abasisi a
Doctor Chadibi, Pamani Yari was to me.
Afei na twere ensem a ese monyi duana ba mfa na haban ensa yale na abamu Dr. Tam da so ama oyalefo bia nya enida so se ne yale befire ne so wo ebra ode nani akyerem wo medimafo heba clinic oyalefo ba ho na ohye na ebra empa ho gise de wawuo ana wasie no nko na ontumi abubuafo enante anifrafo esna panie stroke diabetes pressure ne yale enkan ne nyina aye entatia case wasiesie na yale sabia ho kama doctor se fakakra bi beje wayalesa wo kumase abuakwa ago oyalefo bia kaise udimafo ye medimafo heba clinic Dr. Time daso
Anniversary. The president, the executives, Maiden of Ghana Conference, the pastor, elders, any asafoma, our Mount of Blessing 7-Day Adventist Church, enya infinsia ediasanu. Hooray! Jumadie etifia sem ene infinsia ediasanu akwensi wo bepone so. Yeah, den, hini, na ya den. A journey of 35 years to the Mount, growing stronger, growing deeper, reaching higher. Jumadie ebakoso ewo Valley View University Auditorium, Techiman Campus, Ahini Mibosumeda etosu edionu woche, 28 October 2023. Anopano kuno pepepe ne Jumedie yashase. Jumedie yumu aforibo bekoso, otaya esi yeniso ne se, yedisi asoridan amenyame. Etitria yato yensa fremu, otitineni eni Orura Osekwejo, CEO Osekwejo Company Limited. Guest of honor, Nana Apentin Fosuji Abo II. Hensahini onwasi Neye Bemuhene of the Chiman Traditional Area. Guest speaker, Honorable Martin J. Mensah Kosa, Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Onwasuneye MP, the Chiman South Constituency. Special guest, Honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare, MP, Techiman North Constituency. Honorable Emmanuel Kwejo Ejekum, MP, Nkranta South Constituency. Honorable Benjamin Yaljako, MCE, Techiman. Asorin Penyifua, Jumedie Siwon Naso, Ene Pastor Jacob Ata Ankoma, Elder Thomas Kwabena Nkroma, Elder Osei Usukwesi, Elder Evans Ejapon, Ene Elder Opon Fodjo Steven. Enunti, Yefa Akonye so aton safre, Adofo, Ebusuya, Ankrankre, Ene Ejidifo se, Yenfa Yeni Monyam Embetai 35th anniversary ye echi. Nyame Isra o se, Wudi Weni Monyam Ebetai Jumedie echi. Mouth of blessing at 35, growing stronger, growing deeper, reaching higher. Mouth of blessing is Shirabepo.
Esanda wase papa se watwen yen ama yadan ye ho aba nti yetoa enkomo ne so se de na manoguso a ye ko break no yes ye di nkomo na yesua de afa hihia hodo a ewo obi a wabi adwuma ene obi a okoye adwuma no ne wo se obi a ye se de be a wonu mienu no asumdie beba wo mo entem nti safe na won so abeka ye ho a ha ye Hope TV Ghana Hope Business Forum dwumadie ena wani ni waso nyina guso a wotie na wo hwe no nti yetoa ye nkomo no so pamcho bi nsama makwa babiem okay nti ye kono na ye ka bibi about se bia Mr. Kuya Mr. Abraham amia hu se emra wo ho se ofa obi adwuma na se wo go through that medical process ni sa na mani nyina mani kwan se utimi sorry prekope se what terminate ni contract and say whatever agreement na mo wono nti wa won so wo na ye decide ni di won make sure say won sa be ka sa nkrata no na wo copy na ye didi wa wati media fa emra kwan so Ghana ha ye mpe court ko ono obi wo asori kra na se be odi nsem hu kakra na wo ma police for china yezo ye nipa boni ni enso mi nka mi hu boni a ewo ho se wa wan famra nche won sem na nka ode na mamra de anka nya de ye boni eno ne ye challenge ba kono no nti appointment letter no no eno ankasa sa letter na ankasa no casual workers nso ye mo mu bia na
Pacho Debi
adentia
ye mo appointment letter. Mranu, the law has defined who a casual worker is, who a permanent worker is.
Okay.
Intino omunu ya momu appointment letters.
Okay. Inti yenhwe no kra because brofo kasa casual worker no Mrs. Ega omo ye ho amo.
Casual worker na ye omo a se ne odi nkan kan ye no e bia we farmer we okuani enti ne bia okoko mre aso se o se wuti ana se wo ankafu
okay
enti wo from ana se dan crazy e bia laborers edu time bia no wa from se momra na e bia edu time e bia beto lenten ana se beti koko enti anytime a wo hi omo na wo from enti no no appointment no emra na kire se omo de ne yentro.
Okay.
Nti document bia binde omo. Nti no de ano kasa.
Okay.
Nti asen when no ma frɛ. So akosu amansa. E bia mre na so. Wone asumisimu mra na yentwa
blocks
no ana yenye blocks no.
Oh, okay.
Nti eno de mra na ekasa eni hu kwan sa wotro document bia masa nipa no.
Nti eno na katua ne tesen partial ana say no so this e bia brebi soon for be 2 weeks later na 1 month and san on so yetua nika
oye adwuma no wi a no wotua no.
Okay.
Eno no sa na tie.
I see.
Because asen when na wo hia no bia
na waba
be frɛ no
nti ono sa na
de ba day for no
onye wo weka na sudie bi da wo so
there be.
Okay.
But there was a who so much no more access to medicals.
Casual worker no.
Casual worker.
Ya obeboa me atikoko no akono. Saa.
Nti ono nso no saa nneɛma no wɔ hɔ ɛma wɔn. Although omo ɛdeɛ no mmara ne sɛ yɛntwerɛ.
Okay.
But omo wɔ that opportunity no.
Oh, I see. Mr. Abraham, you wanted to add something? Or
they also have right to receive overtime pay. Or overtime, like a permanent worker, they are entitled to. Casual worker is entitled to overtime.
Overtime, okay.
Now, Mranu Trese, you should pay the casual worker equal pay for equal work. Okay.
Now back to permanent now. How many hours and I was say maybe I'm Rama Kwan say work 4 be juma or year juma within the day?
The law stated it clear that you should work for 8 hours in a day.
Okay.
40 hours in a week.
Okay. So a call beyond 8 hours now, the employee is entitled to sikabiana overtime. No mutia dia semo.
Once a company biya wo the policy. The company bi wo no ma wa state wo the policy ni mu say e bia e be start adwuma 8 e be pon 5 until after 5 no e bia 5 to 8 o'clock work bi adwuma bi abaye bia no e be more overtime.
Okay.
But see that time no kra no na just say that limit you know mama na from 5 after 5 no to that particular range no sas kana na de be ma nti ne bia 50 cedis and 100 cedis after 5 o'clock no to maybe 9 o'clock na and one de be ma so SCD there will be nothing.
Oh, okay.
Almost 30 wo momra nim say sa time wo ye adwuma no
oh, okay. That's fine. Because me call kind news or TV station be.
Okay.
Na Thursday me starting news na 1 hour 5:30 to 6:30. Nti we are ka was say obi akofie because he upon for the day. But Thursday no almost here ntwen. Na yenye meeting. So because of meeting it here ntwen. The second time say news we are Yapon because baby ana me wo first no Yapon new ye news ay Yapon.
Okay.
If I bag I say there be papa say just a papa ka say Kofi answer. Not necessarily say be or no one say kan be but as and when he feels say I was o Kofi no. Now am o Kofi. And so that day now mo kan say I didn't say anything. And yeah can appointment letter once because there was no appointment letter written.
Okay.
But yes, adwuma na se no. Adwuma ho ayedin nti no ya bero. Or say after 2 months and san or no beka salary ho asem. So the first 2 months ni nyina no kra no oh yet to go. And no achi no no asan a kire time or pese you can go home. Because Ghana ha.
Yes.
Mon can be bin fa home me because I know say nyame nkwa na bia me koto saade enum. Eyemra say for be adwuma no aka che ni say untua ne ka not even allowance or anything after 2 months before ansana obetua ne ka.
There is no law that states that when you employ somebody the person should work 3 months or 2 months without pay. There is no law that says that. So you the employer the employee also I mean, you have to be reasonable. You have to be reasonable. Maybe the employer stated it before the start of the work. Yeah. And you accept it. Other than that, there is no way somebody will employ you and the person, even if when you are on probation, you receive your pay.
A lot of people are suffering this, but I think say obi cause ade enum na say wanya kwanya etie a obesua bibia free mu. I want you to advise Ghanaians, especially ye na ye pay adwuma no. contract no near one na ewo mu a yenye na near hin na yenje me pese mo nka bibi because obu ha o pa adwuma nti efie pressure ne adenti no okoya de on beka bia o si yo na waje afi o start ansa na hu say say ade amegye na yeja advisors montuefo na yenhunu say ye bia say me ko adwuma bi mu some of the conditions pese mo bobo some of the good conditions na somebody can at least based on that to accept the job offer.
So, for example, if even the work is a casual work and there has not been any documentation, you are entitled to receive salary. So if your employer is not paying you, you have the right to find a lawyer.
If we need you, my lawyer.
Then that you can also not work for the rest of your life or without pay. You can do that.
Virtually
then you shouldn't accept that offer at all.
Okay, so that is one.
Yeah.
You say be a compare you man you say 2 months you ntia oka 3 months later and you bet you oka. It's better so beja because if you ntia oka.
Yeah, because even if it is casual, the law is saying that when you work a day, you should receive a day work salary. So if you are going to work for 1, 2, 3 months without pay, without any documentation, your employer can take you for granted because there is no evidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Hey, yeah, Brian, no happy. So, okay. So let me start from Mrs. Owusu answer. Your final words. Then probably, if you want to, that is, if you want to give out your contacts for business or any other reason, you can do so afterwards. Then, over some chair, Mr. Owusu answer. Our channel.
Ipacho medasi pa damasin so sa akwenya ya mode amaye eda otumfo nyankopon ase ebebre opportunity we enti sane enkomodie no yede akoduro no ye be stress obia oni obi ye adwuma no e wo se onya enkrata a ebe binde one adwumakuo no na actually say we are adwuma wo company we mu na wo conditions of service and so eka ho a wo be hunu say adwuma kuo no nyoma we and no more expect everywhere say as a worker oye cause ko mrani mu a e wo right of an employer and e wo duties of an employer and e wo rights of a worker and what duties of a worker. And to work one employer no ebe expect say obe make sure say obe mount and new materials would be adwuma. And to one so dear and say also be adwuma. Na what to me achieve more objective. And ti ye more den na ye me ni enku ye adwuma ho. Na emra kwan so bibi bia e wo say ye hia say adwuma no betu mpon no yen de hu adwuma na yenim se eba ne saa ye bekọ yenim ewo adwuma hodo a yewo mu no na etu mpon so aminim se adwuma ne koso no na waketua so ekoso.
Okay.
Edamase.
Okay. Now one chair Mr. Owusu answer.
So answer shall be
Bye. Mr. Abraham, your final words and then.
So, I think Hagar has said it all. What those who are seeking for employment are supposed to do. I mean, if you want to, I mean, you are seeking for employment, don't just be frustrated to the extent that if you are not going to be paid, you are going to take that employment and then later it will become like a burden. No. And then also, if you are looking for a job and you peg a particular organization or company, please do background investigation. Know what is happening there. Know what they are doing, what they can do, what they cannot do. All those things are factors. But make sure if you take any contract or any employment, make sure that employment has been documented, so that if in future there is any eventuality, you cannot become a vulnerable because there is no documentation. So we advise people to even seek advice. I mean, there are people that don't know what the law is saying, so the employers are taking them for granted. Some people are being sacked, termination, unfair termination everywhere. But because you are ignorant to the law, your employment will be terminated wrongfully or unfair, but you will not, you just take it like that. But if you have some basic information concerning employment, at least it will be very difficult for any employer to take you for granted. And we thank you for your attention and listening to us. We also thank Hope
Hope
TV for this opportunity to have this discussion on their platform. We are most grateful.
No hi to anyone.
To my wife.
Mrs.
So thank you for your support and everything.
Okay.
For this discussion.
All right, and also to Mrs. Hilda Quay. In fact, Oba Besraye. She's here in the studios, and she's also behind our setup today. So we are grateful to her, and we say God bless you for your kind work that you did behind the scene. Aha ene brebe makwan ama yede enedwumadi ni nyina asi. Nemom my sweetheart Wahima Esther ya wo Mampong ochade wo wo school nukra minim ne dion fa chemi. Last Sunday na your birthday. Inti mefa kwanya we so na ma we show belated happy birthday nyakopon hraw na onye wa kuma so ade enso emfama afemu amohwe nyina na yekase nyakopon hra mo pa ne yenkomo no ade a emu odu wo se wo san ko Facebook na wo search business forum ewo Hope TV Ghana na wo san hwe biem sanse edisua pa na omode amaye no ote Mr. Abraham Enkasa anso na ote Mrs. Owusu ansa enso enka wen nyina eye panimfo a omaben no makodare ewo human resource management mu nti utie ensema omoka na ekireba bia onum efri eba yemfase da ema all angels of hope semuzo so abibia moboa ma dwumadi ahodo ekoso ewo afidie so nyina no etimi eba so nyankopon bo am se wonya meka ho abomode anse wonzo obedi nhyehyɛ ne so na waba beso yasene saa enso na medimafo herbal clinic ya wonum ewo okuase mayira ewo nkrane ne mpotemu ena afi nso abuakwa agogo ye ewo kumase nso ne mpotemu omo se fa yare bia bra na wonum ensa yare ode mre beto so a ebre ne nsumpo no na wo ho atɔ menso medin ede nana kwa misika ha na brebe makwan ame ye de dwumadi ni nyina asi yankopon hyia mu nyina shalom.